This is why diet culture is so toxic. If you think that eating a donut after breakfast without a reason is the hugest crime in the whole world, well, then start being a gangster. Hi lovelies, and welcome to this channel, the best place for women who want to lose weight, gain self-love, or bring their life to the next level. Subscribe to this channel if my content helps you, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. In this video, we're gonna talk about how to stop binge eating. Now, first of all, what is binge eating? Binge eating is eating a massive amount of food in a short period of time without being hungry actually, and feeling like there is some kind of demon that controls you, so you are not really aware of what you're doing. You are eating much faster than you usually do until you feel uncomfortably full, and afterwards you feel disgusted, depressed, and guilty. Now, there are few causes that can lead to binge eating, and I just want to talk about a few of them. Now, first of all, these can be emotions stemmed from toxic relationships, such as toxic friendship, a toxic family member, or I don't know, a toxic colleague, or an ex-boyfriend, or even the present boyfriend. Now, the next problem is that many people do not recognize those emotions. So they do not really want to feel them because they will hurt them. So they rather want to stuff them down, in this inner conflict, this inner disbalance, this not feeling of the real emotions can often lead to binge eating. Now, this is something that I call poor self-reflection, or a poor relationship with yourself, because you do not want to feel your authentic, your genuine feelings, and you rather want to stuff them down because you maybe do not even realize that you have that poor relationship with yourself. So here it is very important to ask yourself, what is happening with me? What am I feeling? Why don't I want to feel those feelings maybe? Because to bring more awareness to this inner world, to this inner conflict, often helps a lot already. The next cause is over-focusing on our body image. So we really are obsessed with how we look like. And if we want to look a certain way, we start to compare ourselves to other people, and we start being insecure in our own body. This is something which often leads us to some kind of dieting, restriction, deprivation, a high calorie restriction, and so on. So this then, at the end of the day, ends with an unhealthy relationship with food. And this unhealthy relationship with food then can lead to binge eating. So in most of the cases, people binge when they are alone because they are embarrassed of what they are doing. They think that this is something wrong, and there's something wrong with them because of the food rules in their heads that are limiting them. And this is the diet mentality we have to get rid of. So constantly restricting foods, constantly restricting calories, always thinking about food, thinking about what you are going to eat next, never really feeling satisfied. Or maybe even being on a diet without realizing it. If you just take 1 minute and think about one food rule you are following right now, you most probably are on a diet without realizing it. Also, thinking that being hungry is something bad is having a diet mentality. Okay, so now let's talk about how can we get rid of binge eating. First of all, as I already said, we need to get rid of this diet mindset. How can we do this? You need some time. You need to sit down with yourself, write down, so make a list of all the food rules you have in your head. So like, for example, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You cannot eat carbohydrates after 6 p.m. or you cannot eat carbohydrates at all, or it is bad if you eat ice cream sometimes, or something like this. So if these food rules are in your head, write them down. Then after you created this list, I want you to write down next to it, how far have those food rules brought you? So how have they helped you to be where you are today? Most probably, if you're watching this video, you have some kind of unhealthy relationship with food. So this is actually where those food rules brought you. So here it is important that you realize that those food rules are not good for you. This is the first step. The next step would be that you understand that hunger is not bad. Okay, this is what diet culture tells us. Don't be hungry, because then you have to eat, and when you eat you will get fat and some of this. Okay, forget it, just get rid of it in your head and understand that hunger is important. You wouldn't be sitting here and watch this video today if you weren't hungry, or if all of the people before never were hungry. This isn't survival instinct. This is important so that we stay alive. This is why diet culture is so toxic, because when we are dieting, we are acting against our natural human instincts. And this is a game we can never win. The next step is to normalize forbidden foods. So if you think that some kind of food is bad, start eating it. If you realize that this is the food you are binging regularly, pizza, donuts, cake, whatever, eat that kind of food outside of your binges, okay? Just in the middle of the day when you feel good. And this is something which will help you to break this unhealthy connection, this unhealthy link. So for example, you only can eat it when you binge, okay? No, you can always have it as long as you decide to have it. So for example, make an experiment. Eat a donut after breakfast, okay? Because if you think that eating a donut after breakfast without a reason is the hugest crime in the whole world, well, then start being a gangster. At the beginning, it will be scary because you are doing something illegal, something of what you think is illegal. But what is the best thing to fight a fear? It is to face it, right? So if you face this fear, if you are afraid of something and you do it anyway, this is the best way you can get over this fear. My next tip to stop binging is focus on adding instead of restricting. We are human beings. We are rebelling. We have a rebelling self. So as long as we have food rules in our head, as long as we have forbidden foods, this is actually something we want most. These are the sweetest fruits ever because they are forbidden. So in this case, we need to realize that as long as we forbid ourselves something, we want it. If you, for example, never have been eating vegetables, then start adding more and more vegetables to your diet instead of restricting, for example, candy or some of your favorite foods. Because in this case, you don't let your rebelling self rebel. Because you don't forbid nothing, okay? You just add more veggies, but you don't forbid anything. And then, in this case, this rebelling self doesn't feel like it has the need to tell you that you have to eat this forbidden stuff, okay? Because it's not forbidden. And yeah, this is actually a trick. I want to challenge you to start with it today, or if you don't have any veggies at home today, start with this trick tomorrow. Buy a cucumber, a tomato, whatever it is, or find a new recipe you want to cook where vegetables are included. And so start on focusing to add more and more foods that nourish your body, and don't forbid yourself nothing. And then see what happens. I really would love to know what is happening. So please either write me a direct message via Instagram or comment below in the comment section whether it helped you or not. Now that we've talked about how to get rid of this diet mindset, we need to start being more aware what is actually happening. This means you have to give yourself time in the first place. You will not stop binging from one day to another, but the next time you binge, try to realize in the moment while you're binging that you are binging. Okay, starting to be more aware of it is already such a huge step. Don't do anything else, just in this moment, realize that you are binging. Then after you stopped, rather than beating yourself up, rather than being depressed and frustrated, start being more curious about what is happening. Ask yourself questions. Ask yourself, what happened today that made me binging? What kind of people have I talked to? What happened yesterday? What does my life in general looks like? Okay, so this self-reflection, this self-awareness is so important that you realize in the first place what could be the root cause of your binging behavior. And also, it is very helpful if you keep a journal. I cannot stress it often enough. If you write something down or if you talk about this to a person who you really feel you can talk to, you will realize that you have such a self-reflection power that you realize what is actually happening and you gain clarity. And my next and last tip is listen to your body. When you are hungry, please eat. And I don't talk about salad without dressing or some kind of that. I am talking about if you have the feeling you need mashed potatoes with steak, eat that damn mashed potatoes with steak, okay? It is fine. You are a human being, you are hungry, you need to eat to survive. And you also need to give your body what it needs. So these were my few tips on how to stop binging. I will definitely make some more videos on that. And if you want to see something specific, please don't hesitate to comment below in the comment section so that I know what you want to see. If you like this video, if it helped you, leave a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, night, wherever you are. Bye bye.